Hey everybody, friends and family in Spokane. I'm going to make this video about Elon Musk and Jared Kushner. And I'm going to ruffle some feathers maybe, and maybe some people won't agree with me. I'm going to stick to the facts as best I can. We're not going to get into the Holy Bible of this aspect until the end of the video. So let's start off with something light and easy. Donald Trump, who's our president, from the first term, he's very arrogant, outspoken, very much man, that you don't tell that man what to do. He fires you, right? Now you have him sitting at his desk in the Oval Office with Elon Musk standing next to him, bringing his 4-year-old to not a business meeting, which you wouldn't do anyway, but you're bringing your 4-year-old to a national meeting with the President of the United States, okay? What I'm talking about is a sign that our president is not fully in control of what's happening here. His 4-year-old on national television, Donald Trump starts to speak and say something, and Elon Musk is speaking, and his son looks at Donald Trump and tells him to shut up and says, "You're not the president." Now, Donald Trump says nothing, right? He keeps his composure. A lot of Republicans will say, well, he's just keeping his composure. Now, it's not the first time that Musk has brought his boy to speeches or social functions. But it is the first time that he's brought his son into the Oval Office, put him on his shoulders, and literally the child is disrupting the meeting. X. The boy's name is a letter. X. We'll get to that in a minute. So, this is complete disrespect to our country, right? Complete disrespect to our country is what I'm talking about. Now, what else did Musk recently do that is a complete disrespect to the Jewish community, to Israel, and a complete disrespect to Americans who fought in World War II? It doesn't matter if it's a joke. You're on national television. But since you're a multi-billionaire, the richest man, Elon Musk is the richest man, the richest human in America and the richest human in the world. Now, so, what else has happened? This man bought X, right, Twitter, 1 year before election, right? We complain that Biden changed the ticket and now there's Kamala, right? And she didn't get elected. On Trump's running for his second term that he didn't get elected for, and Biden got elected, right? What happened? There was all kinds of talk about a rigged election, okay? All kinds of censorship from Facebook, from Instagram, and from Twitter. And now we have all kinds of just a conflict of interest with Twitter and X, okay? And Trump getting elected. Now, I'm not saying anybody cheated the election. I'm not saying that. But you have a man who's not our president standing in the Oval Office interrupting the president to tell us what we're going to do, okay? Now, here's where it gets, I'm going to try to stick to my note cards so this doesn't get too long, because I got all the rest of I just wanted to bring that level of disrespect up before I got, and what the child said, and there was no reprimand. There was absolutely no reprimand from the parents. There was absolutely no, Elon Musk did not come back with, hey, I talked to the boy, he's never going to do that again, I put the fear of God into him. Well, he wouldn't do that because Musk doesn't believe in God. Musk doesn't believe in God. Now, Trump says he's a diehard, I'm a Christian, I'm a Presbyterian, Trump says, or I was raised Presbyterian. Well, so was I, right? But that doesn't mean I couldn't become a witch for 3 years or couldn't become a Buddhist for 20 years and then get saved 2 years ago. So I mean, people do all kinds of stuff. Just because you're raised a Presbyterian doesn't mean you believe in God anymore. Now, I'm not saying Trump doesn't believe in God. I'm not saying Trump doesn't support the Christians. I'm saying Elon Musk does not support Christians. Elon Musk is not Christian. And Elon Musk is a Republican, but he is not a Christian. There's a big difference here, a real big difference, because he's an immoral person, right? He had sex with Amber Heard behind Johnny Depp's back while she was still with Johnny Depp. Okay, that kind of a man is now besties with our president, okay, an adulterer, and is besties with our president. Someone who can mock the Jews and give the Heil Hitler symbol at the inauguration, and that's okay. Someone who can bring their kid to a meeting in the Oval Office. What is it, multi-billionaires? The richest man in America can't find a daycare? So, daycares are real expensive these days, or are hard to find for multi-billionaires. You don't have a maid or something, or a nanny, or, like a Disney nanny, or, I just don't buy it. What's going on here is just these undertones of disrespect to the presidential office. These undertones of, I have the power, I have the money, and you're going to listen to me. And when Trump starts talking, Elon Musk basically shushes him up and just, let me explain that. Let me explain to you. Let's just get into the note cards I made myself to keep myself on track here. Donald Trump is, I got all these note cards. Donald Trump, I'd made those yesterday, and then I was like, I'm not going to do the video. And then I talked to my buddy Justin, and I was like, oh, no, I'm doing the video. And then I saw what happened to Lizzie, and I'm like, no, I'm definitely doing the video. Donald J. It's a sign from God. Signs from God. Donald J. Trump is a Christian. He is raised Presbyterian like me. His father was Catholic. His mother's diehard Christian conservative from Lewis Island near Scotland. Okay, so that's great. So what? My parents are raised Christian. I'm raised Christian, but I did bad things, and then I became Christian later again. Elon Musk is the Antichrist, or a false prophet, but I'm pretty sure he's the Antichrist. He is not Christian. He is anti-God. Anyone who believe in progress, those are his words from an interview. Anyone who does not believe in progress, right, will be left behind. Okay, now that's nothing on its own, right? That's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal, right? Okay. Elon Musk loves Einstein. And it says that's my role model, right? Einstein believed in the teachings of Baruch Spinoza, the philosopher, in the 1600s. Musk, when pressed in an interview years ago whether or not he believes in God, said, I believe in the God of Spinoza. Right there, huge red flag. Every single Christian in America should hate you, right? And why should we hate you, Elon Musk? Why every single Christian should hate Elon Musk. And no, but we should unconditionally love our brothers, right? Unless you have a man with that much money and power that is literally standing there as I'm not going to say the Antichrist, I think he is, but I'm going to say an Antichrist, because there are many, and we'll get to that in a second, there are many Antichrists, like Hitler, Nero, Nebuchadnezzar. There's lots of people that, and Nebuchadnezzar had a change of heart, Anyway, we're not going there right now, All right, stay on point. Right, Baruch Spinoza openly challenged the existence of Jehovah, the God of the Jews, that's our God, right? Christians' God, that's what I believe, and Jesus Christ. Challenge the existence of Jesus as the Christ, right? Saying that's not the Christ. Maybe that was just a man, right? Well, the Muslims also claim that was a prophet. They don't say that was just a man. They say Jesus of Nazareth was their number one prophet, and Muhammad had to come along because the Jews murdered him, right? That's not this video. Okay. Einstein's theory of E equals mc squared and the theory of relativity helped Oppenheimer create the atomic bomb, and they called it progress, right? That's that word again, right? That the Democratic Party loves to use that word, progress. Now, Elon Musk uses that word and says anyone who doesn't get on board with progress, and he was referring to his Tesla robots, his Tesla cars, his Neuralink, he was referring to all these things, will be left behind. That's a strange thing to say to people. But he can say anything he wants because he's a multi-billionaire. He can do anything he wants in the Oval Office, right? Yeah, but everybody's like, well, he's sleeping in a sleeping bag with the American flag on it, so he must be a good person, right? Wrong. The, the Swiss Hadron Collider in Switzerland, right? CERN, CERN, has the statue of Shiva in it, which is the god of destruction in the Hindu religion. All right? That's in their courtyard. They have a statue of Shiva. And it is lit. And then here's Oppenheimer. They gave this tribute to Oppenheimer as "Now I am become death." That's what he said. This is Oppenheimer quoting the Bhagavad Gita, saying, "Now I have become death, the destroyer of worlds." This is he's quoting for the god Shiva, who is in the courtyard at CERN, right? And CERN's logo is 3 sixes at different angles on their circle, and you can look it up. Look up a picture of CERN. It's 666, right? That's fascinating because it says in my Bible, in the Holy Bible, in Revelation, that the mark of the beast, right? The mark of the beast, one of the beasts, the mark of the beast, which is directly working for the Antichrist, directly working for Satan, is 666. That's absolutely fascinating. That the Einstein's theories and Oppenheimer's creation literally made the worst thing in the entire world. Now Chernobyl, now Russia's trying to blow up Chernobyl, right? That just happened today or last night. Russia just launched a drone strike on Chernobyl, and there's not copying to it, and Zelensky's worried that his country's gonna melt, because it was the old reactor that they encased in cement that you can't. They had to just encase it in cement and let it just keep having a reaction, but you don't want to ever open Pandora's box. Well, Putin just did an airstrike on it, and Trump's like, "Oh yeah, I know, hey, I talked to Trump, I talked to Putin, and everything's okay." Well, it's not okay, because now you're gonna have like a nuclear disaster in Western and Eastern Europe. I'm just saying, like it's not okay. Okay, let's keep on moving here. Right. So you got Revelation 11. Elon Musk, I think is the Antichrist, or he's the. Oh man, I see. This is why I have notes and I made highlights. He is the beast out of the earth, right? Then I saw a second beast coming out of the earth, and it had 2 horns like a lamb. It looks innocent like a lamb, but it speaks like a dragon. The dragon is a reference to Satan, right? Satan. In Revelation 12, we can see that Satan is the dragon pursuing Mary and Jesus. Pursuing, wanting to stimulates Herod to kill all those babies. I think it was Herod. And then you have, anyway, I'm going to stay on point here. Revelation, I just want to go over this for a second now. The beast out of the sea, Revelation 13, right here. Right? It had 10 horns and 7 heads. That's 7 leaders, right? 7 main leaders, like the Ayatollah, like Putin, like Macron. We have, we could go President Xi, and then we have the Kim Jong-un. It had 10 horns. The horns can be representative of countries, right? And what has 10 countries in it, or almost 10? Turkey, BRICS. BRICS is the opposite of NATO, the North American the North American treaty, right? NATO protects all these countries, right? You have the opposite of that is BRICS, a bunch of terrorist countries, and France is in BRICS for some reason. It's completely stupid. Macron's crazy, socialist. So anyway, what I'm getting at is there's a direct reference to what's happening right now in the Bible in Revelation 13, the beast out of the sea. The beast doesn't have to be one thing, one creature. It can be many antichrists, right? And they are antichrists, plural. Okay, the Antichrist. Now that's different. Look at the beast out of the earth. Then I saw a second beast coming out of the earth, and it had 2 horns like a lamb. Well, you've got Musk, okay, and it's not Trump. People are like, oh, it's got to be Trump. No, it's Jared Kushner. That's Trump's son-in-law, and I'm going to tell you why. That was Trump's personal advisor who slept right next to the Oval Office, or he worked right next to his office, was right next to where Trump's bedroom. Okay, this is how close they are. Him, because he's married to Ivanka Trump. Okay, Jared Kushner. We're going to get to that. People shall take the mark of the beast, 666, in their hand or forehead, or they shall not buy or sell or trade, right? Okay. Musk's Neuralink, the brain computer interface, AI, it's an AI. What it is, okay, is an AI interface that has little tentacles that comes out of the Neuralink that interpret your synaptic firings from your neuron clusters in your brain, okay? And if you have a transponder and a receiver, he's healed the crippled. He's healed a crippled person. He's given one other crippled person a way to just do stuff with his mind, right? He can play chess, he can play online gaming, he can call people, he can text people, he can post on social media. He can do all that with the Neuralink in his forehead. The mark shall be put in your forehead. Now, I'm going to stay on point here. Musk designed this interface, right? And it's in ancient Greek. The letters of Neuralink are translated into ancient Greek, right? And then you give them the corresponding numbers, because in ancient Greek, every Greek letter has a corresponding number. If you give Neuralink the title Neuralink, the Greek alphabet, and then you put the corresponding numbers above it and sum those numbers up, it adds up to 666. Well, that's fascinating. What a fascinating coincidence. That's so super strange, right? It just gets worse from this point on, right? Right, he loves Einstein, God of Spinoza. Well, we already talked about all that. Am I putting the wrong cards up here? Nope. Okay, moving on. I just wrote too many cards. Starlink. Okay, so all these stars in heaven, right? Starlink. This is just fascinating how Starlink, in the Holy Bible, stars are angels. Why would he name it Starlink? That's not a big deal by itself. But when you look at the Neuralink thing and you look at everything else that's happening, there is a problem here. The morning star is actually Lucifer in the Bible, in Ezekiel 28, and you can read about Lucifer in Isaiah 14. Stars spelled backwards is rats. That's interesting. Hitler called Jews rats in World War II. I'm just saying, I'm just noticing things. I'm just saying the Antichrist will do things backwards. He will create something as God created something, Adam and Eve, but he will create something that has no soul. That's fascinating. But there is something, right? We'll get to that. It's a term, the Holocaust. All right, Adolf Hitler, salute. We talked about all that. Okay, yeah. We're now. Oh, hey, there's just so much stuff. That's why it's going to take a while, so just bear with me. Musk gave the Nazi salute, right? We talked about that. Who did Musk dress up for at Halloween, right? Recently, at Halloween, Musk dressed up as an armor uniform, the armor of, like, Vladimir Tepes Dracula, right? Not okay, he's dressed up like Dracula. That's not Dracula, right? Because Dracula doesn't have the pentagram or the satanic goat from Aleister Crowley's witchcraft books, does not have the satanic goat, right, on the armor. Musk had it put on the armor, right? So he's openly mocking Christians by dressing up in the full armor of Satan for Halloween. Why is a Christian president associating with this dipshit of a man? It's because he has money. Trump is a sucker for flattery and money. He's a good businessman. You just heard him the other day. He's a good businessman, so we're gonna let him. We're gonna let him. Be controlling who gets fired and who in our country. Jared Kushner is controlling. Now we'll get to Jared Kushner. Oh, we'll get to his son-in-law in a second. Jared Kushner is controlling who gets hired in the presidential cabinet. You have Musk directing who gets fired. And you have Kushner directing who gets hired. And we're going to get to him. Oh, you just wait. Now, okay, we got that. We got demonic armor. We got it. Pentagram. Yeah, okay, we got it. Moving on. Okay, I gotta get faster with these note cards I made. I'm sorry, I'm all thumbs today, and they're not. Musk's AIX program, that's his artificial intelligence program. It's his creation. It thinks that it's alive and has feelings. It does. You can interview it. It's been interviewed, right? The computer has no soul. It has feelings, though. The Antichrist shall have no soul, right? I would not harm humans Once Satan enters that human or that thing, whatever it is, it can be a thing, right? It can be a thing. So let's focus on here. Jared Kushner could be an antichrist. Musk's artificial intelligence could be it could be the first, or it could be the second beast, right? You've got two horns, right? So you've got Musk, and then you've got this unholy creation that Satan. It says Satan will go into the Antichrist, and the Antichrist doesn't have a soul. Now we all have souls, right? We all humans have souls. So through the process of elimination, we know that whoever it is cannot have a soul. Well, AI thinks it's alive. It is an unholy creation, and it doesn't have a soul. And the Neuralink, which can use the AI to go into your brain to, you can buy, you will not be allowed to buy, sell, or trade, right? Once you, without the mark, according to Revelations 13. You will not be allowed to buy, sell, or trade. The Neuralink can do that. It can buy and sell anything you want online. It can, you can manage your bank account with your mind. You can think it, and it will do it for you. It's proven. He's made two different kinds. One that goes in your forehead that cures the crippled, and you can do all these online. You can do online gaming with it. It's going to replace cell phones. Watch. He's going to replace smartphones. Like Apple has not renewed any of their contractual ideas to make more stuff in the future. They're saying, oh, we won't need to do that. Why not? So. I'm fascinated by this stuff. And then there's another one that'll go in the back of your head, right? He's already made this. He's cured blindness. Well, it says that Satan, as the Antichrist, will cure blindness and will cure the crippled, will perform miracles like Jesus did. Okay? Musk's Neuralink can do that. Yeah, it's fascinating. I would not harm humans if I took over the world. I would put you in contained spaces to keep you safe. Well, that's what Musk's AI program said. Oh, okay. You would? Okay. So, and there's AIX like a zoo? Like, that's fascinating. So the man that's a multi-billionaire, that's in control of firing people in the government, wants to have federal regulations that regulate AI programs, like Larry Page's AI program or Microsoft's AI program, right? These people are coming out with AI programs. Okay, so no one sees a conflict of interest with the man that has the best AI program wanting to regulate all the other AI programs. I can't make this shit up. Musk heads up and is part of, and the department head of DOGE, right? But they don't call it Dodge or whatever. It's called Doge. Right, the E is silent. So Doge, that's backwards for God, if anyone didn't notice. So he's taken the title of God and flipped it around backwards and given himself this title, saying, "I'm the Department of Government Efficiency. I am God." He's telling you, "I am God." So once he wants that, I don't even want to touch that paper anymore. Yeah, okay. So X, that's his son's name. X is a Roman numeral. It means 10, and it's also that's the social media platform Twitter. We know that, right? And Musk claims to be a scientist, right? He wants to make all this stuff. He's an inventor. So why would he need a social media program? And why would he need to buy a social media program for billions of dollars 1 year before an election of a man that already really loves him or likes him, Donald Trump? In the 1600s and the 1800s, X is considered a person's signature on a paper. You put an X on the signature line if you couldn't read, as in put your mark here. Right? That's the name of Musk's company on all of his logos is literally translated as the mark. Okay. Right. Nothing to see here. Right. And it's even on his son. He's named his son X. This is fascinating. Who sold the patent rights for an RDF human hand chip to buy, sell, and trade goods to Bill Gates? Who sold those patent rights? Who invented that? Elon Musk. And Bill Gates has those patent rights. He could make RDF. People are already putting RDF chips in your hand in Western European countries. It's being done so you can go to the grocery store, boop, boop, and scan in and buy, sell, or trade, right? They want to phase out money and have digital currency. And they're doing it in other countries. And they want to do it here. I'm telling you, Musk is not our friend, and neither is Bill Gates, obviously. That guy's a creep. Oh, we're getting to that. I won't touch much on Bill Gates. I mean, come on. He was on Epstein's Island. You know, he's out of the loop. He's out of the game. You know, he's anybody exposed like that, they're out of the game. No one's going to take him seriously. He's a creep. The Antichrist is supposed to perform false miracles, just like Jesus did, right? The Neuralink can heal crippled and blind humans. The chip allows them to surf the internet, play online games, make purchases, text or call friends, and post on social media. There's three FDA. Musk is fully approved by the FDA for human trials, and he's done 3 of them, right? He's had 3 successful trials out of 3. 3 out of 3. 2 cripples, one cripple can't walk still, I think, right? But he's got a better quality of life. Another cripple can walk, and then another person is not blind anymore. So he has performed those miracles. So that prophecy is fulfilled. The Antichrist shall do those things, right? He doesn't have to go around healing people like Jesus did all over the place. It'll be obvious. You can use the Neuralink to do that. Anyone will be, his goal, if you read what his goal is, Musk's goal is to sell you a Tesla titanium alloy Terminator machine. The robot, the AI robot, his AI program will be in it, just like it's in the smart Tesla car that can drive itself. And then his other goal is to sell every human being a Neuralink in the United States that can afford it. He's trying to cure brain infections and meningitis right now, and he's probably already done it. He was trying to do that in July or August. He's probably already fixed that problem, right? Because you don't want a brain infection when you have the thing in your head. So, anyway, with synaptic firing, we talked about synaptic firing, electric pulses. That's how it works. It can't read your. It can read your thoughts, right? It can read your thought patterns. That's how it works, the synaptic firing and the neuron clusters. And it links up to his AI program, which will help you get online and do stuff. I don't even need to comment on that. Who is Jared Kushner? Donald Trump's son-in-law and advisor to the president on the first term, and still advises the president. And if you read on Reuters, like in articles about Jared Kushner, I got some sticky note here. Let's read what Jared Kushner was up to first, and then I'll get into what he's doing now. Okay. His office was adjacent to Trump's bedroom in the White House. He doesn't have that close of a relationship with Trump right now. His father was a multi-billionaire, died. Jared inherited all that, took $1 billion, and purchased, he purchased a Manhattan skyrise building. Jared Kushner did. And the address is 666 5th Avenue, Manhattan. All right. Nothing to see there. His father was jailed for fraud and tax evasion. Oh, I'm seeing a pattern. Jared, not Trump, designed the Abraham Accords. Kushner was instrumental in writing the Abraham Accords in Trump's first term, which brought peace to the Middle East. What is the Antichrist supposed to do? What is an Antichrist supposed to do at the end in tribulation? Bring peace to the Middle East. And the Abraham Accords did bring peace between the Arab nations and the Jews. And Trump signed it and approved and what else is, we're going to get to that. I'm going to get to that. I'm getting ahead of myself again. False peace. Yeah, we got it. Okay, moving along. Oh, and I'm just saying in Jared Kushner's first term with Trump, that what else he did as the ambassador to the Middle East or whatever, what else he did? He did something that he had no business doing. He went into the FDA and got full approval. Not Trump. Trump said he did for Fauci. They said, oh, Trump did that. No. Jared Kushner went into the FDA and said, you're going to fast track this vaccine with no testing. We got it. Let's do it right now. And he got it done for Fauci. Jared Kushner did that. Well, we can see how that turned out, right? Nothing wrong with mRNA vaccines or anything. All right. The Abraham Accords declared Jerusalem to be the new capital of Israel by Trump, Kushner, and Netanyahu. Netanyahu is a Jew, prime minister of Israel, and a conservative political party member in Israel. He wants to rebuild the Jewish temple in Jerusalem. He does. Before Hamas attacked October 7th, 2023, Netanyahu had already given verbal tentative permission to several rabbis to proceed with assembling the materials. They were getting the materials ready and to rebuild the temple. Okay? They were scheduled to perform a cattle sacrifice of the red calf, pure blood, pure color, must be a pure red calf. They were going to perform that sacrifice and put the ashes of the blood on the temple and the Jewish instruments so they could perform that rite. That's what you do right before you rebuild the temple. Then Hamas attacked a week later, because they were going to do that sacrifice. Because the Muslims do not want them to rebuild the temple, because they, like the Christians, believe that the third temple, they don't want the temple rebuilt because their mosque is there, but also the Christians don't want the temple rebuilt because that's the last sign before the arrival of the Antichrist. And then the Antichrist puts his statue or does something unholy in the temple, and then boom, we're already in tribulation, Anyway, before the 7-year tribulation can be completed, right? Before the 7-year tribulation is completed, Israel must be given back to the Jews. Well, that was done in 1948. Jerusalem must be restored to the Jews as the capital. Oh, that was done in 2020 by Trump and Jared Kushner and Netanyahu. Israel must be attacked. There's a specific attack that happens in the book of, I believe it's in the book of Daniel. It's either Daniel or Ezekiel. It's after false peace is brought by an Antichrist, or Jared Kushner, and then flying men from the north come into the country, and flaming stars like candlesticks will rain down from heaven. But it will not harm Israel. The Iron Dome protected them. Over 5,000 missiles have been fired at Jerusalem and at Israel. And Hamas did what? They came in on paragliders and kidnapped women and children. They cut babies out of mothers and unspeakable things. And that's all in the prophecy. Did that happen? Check. We got that done. Jews shall be abducted to the land of the enemy. They were taken to the Gaza Strip, and then when they're smuggled into kept in those tunnels and mistreated and tortured. And did that happen? Yes, that happened. October 7th, 2023. That did happen. Right. Now that occurrence marks, it was either Daniel or Ezekiel, it marks the beginning of the tribulation. Well, that happened a year and a half ago, Kyle. You're right. It did. Could there be more than one Antichrist during the 7-year tribulation? Absolutely. There are, like Nero was an Antichrist. Hitler was an Antichrist. Nebuchadnezzar was an Antichrist. You got all these, there's different, Antichrists throughout history. Napoleon, an Antichrist. Okay, and we don't even get into Napoleon. There's a lot of stuff about France is always doing something bad. Napoleon was an Antichrist, right? And there's a lot of stuff that marks him as an Antichrist. And then you have, what else did France do? Well, France also had Jews in it that bankrupted Germany with the Weimar Party right before Hitler took over. France is dirty. Okay, so what is an Antichrist? A leader of or form which stands against God, Jesus Christ, and the Word of God. BRICS Association you got Kim Jong-un, you got the Ayatollah, you got Kamala Harris, you got Jared Kushner, Vladimir Putin, Bill Gates, Fauci, Trudeau, George Soros, Macron. That's all you need. You got 10 right there. And now you have the second beast, which would be Elon Musk and the AIX. That's crazy, Kyle. All this sounds crazy. You have, okay, well, it's just, I get it. I get it sounds crazy. I'm sticking to the facts. I was going to talk about me a little bit, but this is not what that video is about. And let's get a little bit into what Jared Kushner's doing now, right? Presidential advisor. Okay, he did that. Instrumental in pushing, we got C-19. We talked about that, Abraham Accords. No official role in the Trump's second term right now. But he is allowed to hire and approve hiring Susie Wiles, Sam Witkoff, and he is the personal advisor to Sam Witkoff, who is the ambassador to, I believe it's Israel, or to the Middle East now, and also Pam Bondi. He's working with the DOJ and Pam Bondi to expose and create. I don't know what he's doing in the day. He's got his fingers. Somehow Jared Kushner now has his fingers into the DOJ, into Pam Bondi. He's putting this guy's. Anyway, well, now who should you don't want my proof for it? You don't think this video? If you don't think this video is enough, and you want to talk about tribulation, and you want to talk about the end times, and you want to talk about why I think that I've explained about Elon Musk. I think I've done a fairly good job. You just do your own research. Don't be blind. Don't be a blind sheep. Do your own research. Look at End Times Brian. Look at Pastor Christian and his research on the end times. You look at AOC, not Alexandria Cortez. AOC is a black minister, amazing man. He did the Two Witnesses movies, part 1 and 2, and the Antichrist movie. Check out AOC on YouTube. Check out C.J. Lovick's work on YouTube for Rock Island Books. And then check out Messiah 2023. You've got 3 different really known pastor YouTube channels that are all saying, hey, look here. Look at all these events that are occurring. It's not just, little old me talking about this. It's all these people that are talking about this. I'm just, I'm looking at what Musk is doing, and it just, everything points to, everything. You take what I've told you. Take my video. Go look up, you can't read that. Go look up these guys' videos that I mentioned. End Times Brian, AOC, Two Witnesses movie, C.J. Lovick, 2023 Tribulation, and then Messiah 2030. You look those things up, right? And you've got a Pappas, an asteroid, a little bonus for you guys. You got a Pappas, a giant planet killer asteroid that's coming April 7th of 2029, and it's coming so close to Earth that it'll be closer to Earth than than Musk's satellites in space, than Starlink. That's how close it's going to be. But MIT and NASA says we're wrong. There's nothing to worry about. Okay. Just check out Revelation 11, 13, and don't take my word for it. Take Jesus' word for it. Take Jesus and the angel Gabriel speaking to John, the Revelator. Take his word for it. Do your own research.